I'm Peyton Fender.
And welcome to Peyton's Extra Scoop. Golly, she forgets how to do her intro every week,
Sorry.
every
Sorry.
month. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't last month.
You got to give her flashcards.
I
Maybe
do.
that might work.
What's up, guys? So I'm Jeff Doss, and we have another special guest with us, Kyle Reed. How are you doing, my friend?
Wonderful, Jeff Payton. I appreciate you guys having me on today. I'm just super excited to be here, talk about some things that are going on, and really try to motivate some people on so when times get tough, we can keep pushing forward, kind of thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and just get into it. And all of us in the martial arts world have been just praying for you, supporting you, as everything has really it's been almost a week now. So
Yeah, it'll be a week tomorrow at 10:06 a.m. exactly.
explain for those that don't know what happened. Most people in martial arts world know, but yeah.
So last Thursday at 10 o'clock, I received a call that the fire alarm was going off in our building. And sometimes it trips. So normally I don't even think anything of it. I just head over, let the fire chief in. He does a walkthrough, make sure nothing's on fire. And he resets it, and we keep pushing on with our day. No, nothing crazy. So by the time I was getting my shoes on and getting Maddox dressed to head up there real quick, I was like, give me 10 minutes and I'll be there. Like nothing crazy. I probably got 3 or 4 different phone calls from parents who are in eyesight of the school that were like, Kyle, you need to get to the school. There are flames pouring out of the building.
Mhm.
So at that point, I honestly had no idea like what emotions to feel or what even like. I was just like, I just need to get there. So obviously, I didn't want to take Maddox there. So I called my sister and my fiance, and I'm like, listen, one of you need to get out of. And I literally said, they'll tell you. I said, no, not so nonchalantly. I said, could one of you get out of work? The karate school's on fire. Like that's how I exactly said it to them.
Right.
Like I didn't know what to expect or what I was walking into, so I was trying not to get everyone around me all riled up. As Kylie pulled up to the house, I was pacing the front porch waiting for her. Now I only live 2 streets away from my school, or where was my school, I should say. As I turned the corner to come out the alleyway of where I'd head to the school, black smoke was just filling the street. And immediately, like, the worst pit in my stomach, like, happened. And I was just like, there was part of me that didn't even want to turn the corner and see the building. But I knew I had to.
Right.
So I turned the corner. I let them they let me go as far as I could with my car. Slammed my car in the park. The keys were in it. Like doors were open, windows were open. Like I just left my car where it was. I went to the ambulance person. I'm like, and I'm in tears at this point. Now, for most of you guys that know, I'm not a really emotional person to begin with. I don't show emotion very well. Like I'm usually the guy who tries to crack jokes and makes light of situations. So, they were like, this is as far as you can go. And I was like, that is my karate school that is on fire. Like, can I please at least go up across the street on the sidewalk? And she was like, yes, just stay out of the way. So at that point, I was probably there for about 5-10 minutes before anyone else, like Kylie showed up, my sister Heather showed up, a bunch of parents from the school showed up, my jiu-jitsu coach, Coach James, they all showed up, and everyone was just giving me big hugs and like so much love and so much appreciation. But at that time, like, no hugs, no nothing, no, it'll be all right. Do anything, as I'm 25 feet in front of my school, watching flames pour out of everything and everything just be incinerated. And I knew when I came around the corner and I saw the black smoke that I knew nothing was going to be saved from this fire. So immediately after that thought crossed my mind, I said, in my mind, I was like, just make sure everyone is okay at this point. Like the mats and the equipment and everything else, like the sentimental stuff sucks that I lost inside there. Like that's the hardest part. Like my original black belt was in there. My original bow staffs from when I started competing, like were in there. So like those things really suck. But like we share a building with like a fire extinguisher company, and they're great guys back there. I love the Dan Checks. They're awesome people. But while the fire was going on, their tanks were exploding. because the fire was combustion. So it was just adding
Right.
more fuel to the flame. So at one point, the fire chief had to just pull all the firefighters out and let it kind of run its course for a little bit, so that way everyone, everyone was just safe wise, and that was my main concern at that point. And then it took them about a solid 3 hours to contain the fire.
Mm. Wow.
Before I was able to kind of like get close enough to my building and see, kind of literally see from the front of my building to the back of my building. Like we had multiple rooms that had walls and this and that, and there was nothing left. Like
Yeah.
absolutely incinerated. So it was a very overwhelming experience. I don't. There was a lot to process. There was a lot going on. I mean, my phone was. I think by the time I got home at probably 3:30, 4 o'clock, I think I had 117 text messages, over 200 Facebook messages, and probably at least 100 phone calls of people just trying to make sure I was okay and I was safe, and like everything else is replaceable. And like I've been telling everyone, this was really the best of the worst case scenarios. Like normally, like me and Maddox go to the school and I do paperwork and he causes a muck because that's just his place. It's his other playground. Like dad owns this place. I can do whatever I want here, kind of thing. Like that could have happened. My jiu-jitsu guys who are in the back room, I think the fire started up in the front. So they would have never known initially that the fire was going on until it was too late. They would have been trapped in the back. So like, and Charlie didn't have any the fire extinguisher guys. He only had one guy in at that time when it started going off. So there was the best of the worst things to happen wise. So, you know what I mean? There could have been so many more other things that went on. So that's kind of like how I processed that day. And then, I mean, I got home. I didn't know anything about the GoFundMe. I didn't know anything about the T-shirts. I didn't know anything about I was completely in the dark about everything. Everything was being handled by outside people from the members of the school and Kylie and my sister and things like that. And just to see the outpouring support from not only like friends and family immediately here, but the outreach from our martial arts community, that was just, you really don't. I mean, this will be 26 years in the martial arts and probably 20 of NASCA. And you really never know like how much of an impact you make on people's lives, or how much like you actually maybe make a difference, or even just being a genuine human being to people like goes like a long way. You never do things for the pat on the back, or you never do things for expecting something in return. But I guess, like I've been telling everyone, in this time right now that I'm going through, the words thank you don't even justify everything that is going on around me. Like you guys especially know me. I'm not a person who doesn't get things that's not earned. Like if we don't earn them, we don't get them, kind of thing. Like, so the things that have been pouring out my way, like Century has done a fantastic job. They immediately reached out to me the next day and was like, what do you need? Like, what can we help you with? Like, those guys. I mean, everyone from Team Revolution, sending me messages, reaching out. I know there's a bunch of team members who wanted to hop in their cars and drive up from Florida and from Canada to come just be with me. Like Coach Edgar was calling me, telling me he was getting on a flight the next day. He's like, "I be there, brother. I be there, brother." And you guys know Edgar. That's exactly how he talks.
Right.
And like just those phone calls and those messages, like they truly, truly resonate with you. Like just keeping you humble and keeping you like there is a bigger purpose here, always at hand, kind of thing.
Of course.
And it's just been like I told everyone, like in my interviews that I did with news and stuff like that, I did give myself 24 hours. I gave myself until the next day to I don't want to say mourn, but really process everything that really went on that day. I went out to dinner with some friends. I kind of just decompressed. I shut my phone off for like 2 hours, and I was like, I just need to be in this moment right here. Like that moment is in the past. It's like the Rafiki saying, you can't change what's in the past.
Right.
The same thing, like focus on what's in front of you and focus on what needs to happen. So that's kind of what I did. I may have slept 3-4 hours Thursday into Friday. Like I was up, I was down, I was up, I was down. Which is expected, but for those who also know me, I'm a very heavy sleeper. I could probably sleep through most things going on. So like
Yeah.
that is not a normal. But we got an amazing phone call on Friday from a parent of the school that had a friend who had a massive building. Like there's all in the building. There's a baseball training facility. There's a field hockey gym. There's a strength and conditioning gym. So they had called me and they said, "Hey, this guy wants to meet you, and he wants to show you this space that he has available for you if you want it." So I immediately was like, absolutely, like, let's go look at it. They were like, take a couple days. I was like, no, I gotta find us a home. Like, we need a
Right.
home.
Right.
Like, and so I went. We looked at it. It's 10,500 square feet.
Jeez.
It's absolutely incredible space. It's gonna be customly built out with the karate floor is gonna be about 4,800 square feet. The jiu-jitsu floor is gonna have 3,500 square feet. We're going to
Wow.
have activity rooms for our summer camps. We have a lobby for the parents that's getting graffitied up and everything like that. So they say some things are a blessing in disguise. Well, I guess this in its way is a blessing in disguise. But even like before I go further into that, I know my other CrossFit family doesn't really follow this end of my life. But those guys immediately called me and they gave me 5,000 square foot in their gym.
Yeah.
They roped it off.
That's awesome.
And they gave me their bleachers and they were like, listen, your members are our members and our members are your members. Like, let's just keep pushing forward. Like, we don't have no mats, so we're training on concrete. So it's a little more strategized training now. Like, it's
But
back.
still,
It's probably when Jeff started training the concrete style.
Yes. Yes, of course. When I was competing.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. On the gym floors were no mats.
Yeah, concrete floors.
But those guys immediately opened their doors to us. There was I can't be more grateful that for the next 6 to 8 weeks, I at least still have a place to do what I love.
That's great.
And like I said, the overwhelming support of everyone reaching out is I just can't say thank you enough. It's terrible to say, like, I'm tired of saying thank you because it does nothing at this point. Like just saying thank you because like that's the right thing to do. But there's no action behind what I need to give back to all these people in the community and in the world that are really reaching out. I mean, we got guys over in Europe that are doing fighting seminars and fighting clinics. The guys from my friends Craig and Rachel from Absolute, Wolfpack, Kevin Baldwin, and those guys. Bailey reached out to me to do something. Like all these guys who like I grew up with and. I've been around like just as friends are really like coming to swing for me. So it's just been,
that's awesome.
It's crazy. Like, but I can't wait. I've been telling everyone once we get officially opened, I'm throwing a massive block party at the new NEPA Mixed Martial Arts. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have axe throwing. We're going to have everything going on at this. And it's going to be just a big block party like you see in the movies.
I love it. I love it. Man, Hey, man, just
yes.
Blessings, man. This sounds. Hey, you know what? It's these things happen. It's unfortunate, but like you said, man, now it's just an opportunity to show, just how to move forward, how to stay that positive mindset, and how to just adapt, right?
Absolutely.
And, that's the best part of what we do as martial artists is what we learn, and that's the most important thing as far as us as teachers and us as leaders. If we can teach our students how to do that, how to adjust, how to adapt, how to push through or make changes when bad things happen, right?
How to handle adversity. And that was one of the things like I held classes Friday night at the CrossFit gym, less than 24 hours after everything. Like I wanted my students to know like something bad did happen. But one of the parents, one of my old original parents used to tell me 3 things: engage, adapt, and overcome.
Yep.
Like those were the 3 words. And I still live by those 3 words. Like, and I engage the situation. I'm adapting for the situation. I'm going to overcome that. But I wanted my students to see my resilience, that like I don't just teach just because like I teach. Like no, I teach because I care about you guys. I want you guys to prosper in life. Like I want you to understand these life skills that I'm teaching you, not just how to punch and kick. Like most people can teach punching, kicking, maybe not efficiently, but like the things that come behind the lessons that are learned on the mat and off the mat.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Well, hey, we're happy to have you to be able to just to share those things in the process and to say thank you. All right, so Peyton, we have a couple things that are going on. Actually, one big thing. So you are, and this we just figured would be kind of one of our topics to talk about. The first thing you said is, so what's going on you? Well, next week I'm testing for my 3rd degree, and she doesn't look happy about it. So
Yeah.
share what all you got to do for that, and then we'll kind of go back and forth. We're just higher ranking testing, what that's like in different styles that we've been through. As that's just a topic that sometimes us as sport martial artists don't even share about,
Yeah, so it's been a while since I tested. It's been 5 years since I got my 2nd degree. So it's been a few years in the making. And finally it was just got to a point where there were so many people asking me, "Oh, are you gonna get promoted? Like, are you gonna get your belt promotion, blah blah blah?" And I was like, okay. I was like, I'll do it. So I had set a date for December, but being injured for those few months put me back a bit.
Oh, right.
So I had to push it to February. And now I'm testing with. Can you hear my dog? Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering, if it's
Squeaky
the wind
stool in the
chimes,
background.
if it's
Yeah.
dog, who knows, man?
No, this
Always
time it's a
making
dog. But yeah, so I'll be testing with a couple of students / teammates / just karate family that you gain over the years being an instructor. Right. And so I have the privilege of testing with them, and they have the privilege of testing with me, and I'll be testing one of my brown belts. One of my brown belts will also be testing with me.
What was that? Is that a no?
Angel's comment.
Yeah. Are you gonna have to do that?
Not for my black belt test. No.
Okay.
No, my instructor. No, my instructor has us do weapons that we don't normally do. So I'll be doing either.
Like me. I do the same thing. I make them do
yeah,
that too.
I'll be doing either a chuck or comma form section for my testing.
Nice.
I'm messaging your father. I want it videotaped and sent immediately.
Exactly.
Oh,
all right. So how much running do you have to do? That's what you were telling me before we got on live.
I have to run 5 miles.
All right.
For my 3rd degree, I have to run 5 miles. It's 9-minute miles, so it's not too bad. But like when you don't run on a normal basis, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I've been having to run a lot more over the last few weeks just to get myself not even physically prepared, mentally prepared for how bad it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I have to do like 14 different forms with kicking combos in between. And if we mess up, you got to do push-ups for messing up, and you got to just, Oh, okay. He's going to go live. That's amazing.
Yes. That's why he's the man.
That's right.
Yes.
So, and our black belt testing usually spans over like 2 days. So,
okay.
Usually spans over like 2 days. So we'll do like the running, push-ups, and just like the endurance portion and the curriculum portion one day, and then the next day will be like the rest of the endurance, fighting and breaking boards and like self-defense.
Okay.
So
cool.
And it's depends on who's testing, who's doing what, but the last time I tested, I know we started at like 4:45 and we didn't end until like 9:45 on one day.
Yeah.
So probably 9 to 10 hour testing.
Sweet.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. Black belt testing's the most fun. I think our next big one will be in May, and so we have a few testing for first, and then a couple for second. And then for me, this would be my highest degree that I would promote. It would be fourth. So, and then I also have my instructor from North Carolina who's bringing a couple of students up to test for their first. So I've kind of become because I'm the only student he has that has a school and that's continuing to teach. And he keeps saying he's retiring and that's his last black belt test he's going to have anymore. And then all of a sudden now every year he keeps bringing up new people. I'm like, all right, it's fine. So, so we have that coming up in May as well. So, how about you, Kyle? When was the last time you tested for like a degree?
So this is a funny story about Kyle.
Oh, here we go.
So you just opened a whole can,
man.
Jeff.
Oh God.
So I originally got my black belt when I was 12 from Hunsinger's I'm sure you remember Hunsinger's, Jeff. So I got my first degree. That was a 3-day test. It was a horse stance day. So day one, we stood in a 2-hour horse stance, which was absolutely horrendous, if you can imagine.
Yeah, it is.
No step in, no stand in, 2 hours, just find home and don't move. The next day was conditioning day. So running, all the conditioning stuff, plus a curriculum day. So it was kind of just show me your curriculum, make sure you know it before you demonstrate it in front of everyone on day 3 and kind of tighten up everything. And day 3 was self-defense, katas, breaking boards, all that good stuff. So that was, that would have been 2008, 2009-ish.
Okay.
And the way my original instructor did it is if you continued training and were actively training, he didn't physically give you a test for your next degree.
Gotcha. Okay.
So as long as you were actively training, for me, I was training with Jason Tankston, like Sensei Jody, so I was going out and getting my knowledge and actively training. So I received my second degree from them. When I left to join Sensei Jody permanently and open TCK Wilkes-Barre or TCK MMA PA and stuff like that, I was with them for a couple years, and then I opened up NEPA Mixed Martial Arts. So I still refer to Sensei Jody as my instructor, but I never actually went through his ranking system or his belt or was ever able to be promoted past that, just due to, managing my own school at that point at 19, 20 was kind of hard to get to the Bronx and still run class and things like that. So for now, I'm a lifelong second degreer.
So we got to get you we got to, I don't know, we need to put together a testing for you. We'll all come up there and do that. That would be fun. Maybe let's do that when you get that new school going. We'll just do something fun like that. That'll be fun.
I'm down for it. I laugh when kids are like younger than me that got their black belt after me. They're like, oh, I'm going for my 3rd or my 4th. And they're like, what are you? And I'm like, second. It's bracket number 2 over here.
It's kind of funny just because I know people, like, I've been in martial arts now 35 years, and many people that started the same time as me or whatever are like 6th, 7th, 8th degree, and I have a 5th degree, and because from 2nd degree to 3rd degree was like 10 years, I didn't get tested or anything, and then I got my 1st degree in another style. And then I went another like 10 years without getting promoted. Then another. So like I'm actually behind. Now I have 2 5th degrees. Okay. But still like that equals 10, right? You're grandmaster. Yeah.
Walk on water now.
Yeah. But it's just funny, how that is. But for me, it's just, and so I've had some where my instructors, giving me rank. But honestly, now how I'm at my last time, I did my 5th degree, and then now I actually what we call like midterm at least twice a year with my original instructor, which to me is just like it just keeps me motivated, keeps me focused, keeps me knowing what I need to do for my next thing. And so that was just an interesting process as well, to go getting my 5th degree in my original style. And then what you do from there is because in most styles, you'd be considered a master. But what they do is now you have a year to gain your mastership to be considered a master in the style. So you have to earn another black belt in another completely different style. You have to go train with all the other masters in the system. You have to accomplish some type of personal goal that you wanted, right? And then the week of the test, you have to do 3 days fasting. You have to, sometime within that year, do 3 days of teaching 1 day teaching, just living life with blindfolded, and then 1 day of like in a wheelchair. So all that stuff. And then I'm sure there was other things too, but yeah, there's, so many different things that you did. So that was just a cool experience for me. And just for me now, it's like, yeah, I don't want rank given to me. Like I won't, like I already set with my instructor next year. Let's do a 6-degree test and let's get this plan so I can do it that way for my Shotokan. And then I have I have American Freestyle, I have Taekwondo, I have Shotokan, and I also have Defense Lab, which was what I did. It's kind of like a version of Krav Maga, but it's based out of Ireland. It was created in the Irish pubs and what do you call it, caverns or caves or whatever, right? The minefields or whatever, miners. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, there's so many just different things like that. Like for my black belt test, yeah, it was an all-nighter, my original one. So it was like you started like 7 p.m. and it ended at 7 a.m. And of course, my crazy self, I went to a tournament that day. So I went to a tournament and then I did the test and then, all that. But I don't know. It was just fun. It's great memories. The only thing I remember, most people remember after their black belt test, you're tired and everything. I just remember we went to like McDonald's to get breakfast and I fell asleep in the, I was, it was just like, all right. And got home and woke up at, sometime, I don't know. And just remember, oh, all right. Still hungry. But yeah. So anybody else, we would love to hear, just black belt stories. What's one of your favorite things about black belt testing or just testing in general? Peyton, you go first. Could be it for yourself or as a instructor, because all three of us are instructors. So.
I would say for myself, I think just the accomplishment you feel passing a test or like getting through something you knew was going to be like super difficult. Because I think obviously I've cried at all of my testings because you just get frustrated or something doesn't go your way and you're like, okay, well now I have to do this again. And so like it's like a frustration / like stress / mad, just cry. And then once you get through, like you break that final board, it's just a sense of relief and a sense of accomplishment. And getting my second degree put on, I shed a couple tears because I've been at my karate school. It's the only school I've ever been to. Mr. William has been my instructor, now still instructor / boss, and he's put on all of my belts for me. So I think him putting this third degree on is going to be super surreal. But having my students pass a hard test that I knew they could pass, and I always tell them, I'm like, testing is a mental game. It's not like it's meant to put you through a lot. But if you mentally know you're going to pass, then there's no reason you shouldn't. It's all mental. It's a huge mental game that you play with yourself.
Christy asks, just how are you preparing besides running?
I've been going to the gym a lot more recently, trying to get my upper body strength up because push-ups are hard and I don't like them. So, but I've been doing like testing prep classes, quote unquote, with the other kids that are testing. So like, for example, yesterday we ran one and we just go through all of the forms, or we'll go through forms and then we'll do kicks in between each form. And I'll have like each kid will read out as a combination for us to do in between, like jump kicks, jump spins, spin kicks, 360s, stuff like that. So it's been preparing myself as well as my students also, just to make sure that they're well aware of what's going to happen. So a lot of extra time spent on forms, a lot of extra time spent on specific workouts we may not feel comfortable with. We come on Sundays and we'll be there for like 3-4 hours on a Sunday, just going through things we may need to work on. And yeah, it's just a lot of extra work that needs to be put in.
Good stuff. What about you, Kyle? What's your favorite thing?
So my favorite part is like it's been a while since I got, like I said, an actual black belt test. So it's been about 18 years since I've actually physically taken a test. So on that sense, like the sigh of relief when it's over. Like Peyton said, like you put all that work in for that whole time. Like for me, it was a 3-day test. Like finally, those 3 days have come to an end. Like all right, I survived it. Like kind of thing. Like you knew, like I always knew, like going into tests, I was very OCD about like being over prepared for tests. So it was never the technical side of the testing. It was always just like mentally surviving and getting through and not giving up. So I agree on that. My favorite part right now is as an instructor, my black belt test. So our final day is a sparring day and a curriculum day, but like we spar. Like
Yeah.
it's you fought, like we take you down, like you're getting kicked on the ground, like it's a
Yeah.
fight. And we have 15, 16-year-old, like 14, 15, 16-year-old kids that are taking this test. Moms and dads are in tears, like they're bleeding, we're bleeding, like, and it's a war between us because they go 10 2-minute rounds. Sometimes it's 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, like just let's go to war. But the end of it, like when that final bell rings, it's usually the last like 10, 15 seconds. I'm a little messed up in the head if y'all didn't realize this before. Let them like start going at me.
Yeah.
Like I just put my hands behind my back and I just start yelling at their face, like, let's go. And they start trying to take my head off. They're kneeing me, they're punching me, they're putting their face to mine as they're bleeding, like, and it's just an incredible, like, it's sick and twisted when you watch it, but like unless you're involved in it, kind of thing. Right. One dad like posted a picture in our parents group of his son, like his 15-year-old son, who's probably one of the most dangerous 15-year-olds I've ever met in my entire life. Like would probably put fear into most grown men. He posted a picture of his son with his nose stuffed up with blood all over his face, and he was like, "This is what real warriors look like." And like just as like a dad like posting that, like it was like, all right, your son can like go out to the world and he's fine, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So we're a little sick up here in the north, but it's all right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's so many great things as a tester, but also as an instructor, just seeing them, remembering that for me, it's always like, what are you getting out of your test? Like you always need to think about what it is you're getting out of it. What is it you felt like you excelled at? What do you felt like you need to improve on for your next one? There, and the biggest thing for me is like especially with black belt testing, you're going to get what you need out of it. Everyone has something else that they need to get challenged. Everybody has something different that's going to challenge them. There's some people that feel perfect with the forearms. There's some people that feel perfect with the sparring. Some people that feel like, their conditioning, everything, they got it. And then there's some that it almost looks too easy, right? Because they just train so hard. They do everything, and some of those people it comes naturally to them. And you have to get them to get to that next level. And that's what's exciting, is really seeing them get out of their comfort zone. If it's the way they're doing self-defense, if it's the way they're, all right, listen, that's great. You did that perfect. So how are you going to get better? Because there always has to be a better, right? If not, then you're just staying here, and your here could be up here, but like, all right, so how are you going to get better from that? Right. Because it's still your average, even though it could be an awesome average, it's still your average. Like, so how are you going to get better than that? So that is, to me, like my favorite part, is seeing them, especially when I know they're all already amazing, but to get to that next level, and how you draw. Everybody could be something people on the board say, it could be something else, The other cool thing is that for us, we do, like seeing people who maybe have moved away or go to college or whatever. And then when we have black belt testing, those black belts are there to be on that board to help, like that's the most exciting part. It's like a reunion, but it's also like, it's just fun to see that respect that they give to what you've done for them, and that appreciation. So that's exciting. And for us, there's part of the test where everyone on the board like makes up something for them to do. And so you're not prepared for what they're going to do, but you've probably done it before, you've trained it before, but The only rule is don't ever make someone do something you haven't done yourself or you can't do. So, but yeah, there's just so many fun things like that. So, yeah, black belt testing is great. So everybody, good. Let's wish some good luck and some prayers for Peyton.
A lot of prayer, please.
Yes, she's got it. She's going to be doing awesome. And Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. And man, just thank you for being just an example of a great leader and someone with determination and that passion, man. Just keep pushing forward.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, telling my story. I wish I had just a tad more notice to make a little, make myself
right.
look a little less Grizzly Adams wise, or at least set up my computer. But it's all right. Heather's already texting me in the background. Why didn't you get a haircut? You should have got a haircut. What are you doing? So,
wait, I can hear her saying that.
You 100% can. You know for a fact. I literally see the name coming across the back of it.
I was going to comment that I was happy that you cleaned up. I don't know, man. I think that looks a little shorter than normal, So
right? See,
I think you're good, man. You're good, man. You're good. Took it serious.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on. And like I said, I appreciate everyone that's continuously reaching out for me and showing me love and support. Like I said, always bigger, better, and badder things are coming from up here in the north.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much, and good luck to everyone that's competing or flying over right now to California for Compete Nationals Compete Internationals. And have a blessed day, guys. Have a blessed weekend.
Good night, everyone.
Night,
guys. Thank you.